This is my second time filming this, so I don't know, it better turn out right. The last time I filmed it was the other night. I usually film at night. I usually have like a lot more soft-spoken of a voice. So this might be a rare occasion where you hear me speak at a normal volume. Also, I don't have a ring light. It's actually like this magnifying glass light that I got for my art class. I don't know if you care. I'm really sorry about the reflection in my glasses. Unfortunately, I do still need to be able to read. I apologize if that's really distracting or annoying. Anyways, today I'm going to be talking about No Country for Old Men.
I need to know what I stand to win.
Everything.
How's that?
You stand to win everything, call it.
All right. Heads then.
Well done.
It's a movie that I've wanted to watch for a long time because of the reviews I've read about it, saying that Javier Bardem is really good at playing a psychopath. So that's been on my watch list for a very long time. I'm also in a film class this semester, so one of my assignments recently, like we're moving into like thrillers, and so No Country for Old Men was one of the options we had of like a movie to watch and review, and so I kind of had an excuse to set aside time to watch it. First of all, I love it. It's an amazing movie. I am reviewing it about 17 years late, but in my defense, I was about 2 years old when it came out, so cut me a little bit of slack. This isn't going to be a film review as much as it's going to be a very unprofessional psychological analysis on Anton Chigurh. Oh, I had turned on my lava lamp, but I don't know if you guys would be able to see it. As long as it doesn't fall, it should be fine. Okay, so I took some notes while I was watching the movie because I decided I wanted to make this video as I was watching it. Every single review I saw of this movie mentioned how good Javier Bardem is at playing a psychopath, and I didn't doubt that, but I wanted to see for myself. The conclusion that I came to is that they're correct. Yeah, he is really good at playing a psychopath. But before I talk about how he plays a psychopath so well, I wanted to define a couple of terms. I have made a whole video about antisocial personality disorder. Psychopathy is not a diagnosable disorder. It's more of a set of personality traits that make up someone's character. It can be applied to certain people based on how they act, but you can't diagnose someone with psychopathy. You can diagnose them with antisocial personality disorder, which some people with antisocial personality disorder do have the character traits or personality traits of psychopaths, but you can't diagnose someone as a psychopath. I just want that to get that out of the way before we move on. Aside from Anton specifically, I wrote down one quote that I really liked.
If I don't come back, you tell Mother I love her.
Your mother's dead, Llewellyn.
Well, then I'll tell her myself.
Some things I wrote down about Anton is that when he goes into a situation where he could potentially kill someone, he's not fully determined to kill them, which is why I think the coin toss is so interesting. I know literally everyone talks about the coin toss, and I'm going to talk about it as well because I can. He doesn't have like this like insatiable bloodlust where if he's going into a situation where he could potentially kill someone, he has to. That's not always the case. In the coin toss scene specifically, I think the guy at the counter he said something about like, you call it for me or something, and he said, I can't call it for you, that would be unfair.
Well, we need to know what we're calling it for here.
You need to call it. I can't call it for you. Well, it wouldn't be fair.
He really toys with this guy's emotions. Textbook psychopath behavior. Even though he doesn't kill the guy, he's still like, I don't know, the guy feels threatened even though he doesn't necessarily know that his life is in danger. I did write down antisocial personality disorder. Of course, I'm not a psychological professional, so I can't diagnose him, and I'm not going to claim to be a psychological professional. But he seems to have no empathy or understanding for other people, doesn't really care about the consequences of his own actions. He doesn't have a whole lot of emotion in general. So really quickly, I want to talk about organized versus disorganized serial killers. I'm going to talk about maybe where Anton stands in there. These are notes from my forensic psychology class. For the organized serial killer, I have controlled mood during crime. They usually plan out their murders beforehand. There's more effort put into hiding or cleaning the crime afterwards. Typically, they're about average to above average intelligence, usually sexually competent. They keep up with news. They may leave town for a while after the crime to wait for everything to cool down. They're less likely to be a spree killer. They prefer skilled work. They target victims and personalize them. They usually prefer submissive victims. They use restraints. They hide or transport the victim's body. They hide weapons. They thoroughly clean crime scenes. Usually they would have the victim alive had they committed sexual acts. Anton Chigurh never had any sort of sexual relations throughout the movie. But yeah, the missing weapon, multiple crime scenes, they don't all happen in the same location. They don't all happen close to each other. They don't happen close to the killer's place of residence. Torture, tamper with evidence, and occasionally bite marks. As for the disorganized killer, the disorganized serial killer, they typically have a lower intelligence, are socially incompetent, they may have been abused or very harshly disciplined as a child, are very anxious during crime. They live alone. Typically the crime scene may be near where they live. They don't follow news. They don't know if they're how wanted they are in the area they're in. Significant behavior change or psychosis. They're spontaneous. They don't do much to hide victims. They depersonalize victims. Don't do a decent job at cleaning up a crime scene or hiding evidence. It's sudden violence to victim, little use of restraints, sexual acts after death if they do commit sexual acts, weapons/evidence not hidden, multiple sexual acts, beaten, improvised murder weapon, and manual strangulation. Now, where does that follow with Anton Chigurh? Anton Chigurh is a very interesting serial killer in the sense that I don't really know. He fits somewhere in between a disorganized and an organized serial killer. His behavior, his mood, his emotion or lack of emotions reflect an organized serial killer, but his behavior and the crime scenes he has, the scenes after he's committed a crime reflect a disorganized serial killer. He doesn't often clean up crime scenes, but he does make an effort to switch cars so that he can't be traced. He seems to be pretty intelligent. One thing I wrote down is that if you weren't convinced that he was a psychopath based on the fact that he has no empathy or understanding for other people, really emotion at all, the fact that he went into a stranger's house, he broke into a stranger's house and then sat down on their couch and drank milk from their fridge by itself would convince you, because that's psychopathic behavior. After he leaves, the sheriff comes by into the house that has just been broken into, also sits down at the couch, sees the milk that's been out, and drinks from the milk. Equally psychopathic behavior. Anton shot a bird for no reason. I mean, no one's really surprised. Oh, something I didn't realize until after I watched the movie is that there was no music in the entire movie. And I can't believe that I didn't pick up on that, because soundtracks play a really big role in whether or not I like a movie. A lot of my favorite movies, the soundtracks play a big part in why they're my favorite movies. And I somehow didn't even notice that there was no music. That almost made it scarier, because you can utilize like some dramatic violin suspenseful music in the background when a serial killer is like stalking the halls looking for their next victim to make it scary, But what's different in No Country for Old Men is the complete silence, where you can hear Anton's footsteps. When he takes off his shoes, he's just walking around the motel in socks. You can hear that. You can hear when he very lightly places down the oxygen tank. Small details like that set the movie apart from other thrillers and other psychological horrors, because it's able to make the audience sit on the edge of their seats without needing different kinds of stimulation to give the same feeling. I think that's a difficult thing to do, and I think that they pulled it off really well, and that's why that with so many other reasons is why the movie is so well liked. And I said this wasn't going to be a film review, but I really liked it. That's about everything I wanted to say. My lava lamp is finally heating up now. Thank you so much for watching. I know I've been making more videos about film recently. I don't really intend on making this like a film review channel, although I do like watching movies and I do like talking about movies. That's not, I'm not switching to just doing that, although it is something I want to continue doing. I try to blank as little as possible so I don't have to do as much editing. It's difficult to plan losing your train of thought. I'll include all of my socials here. You can also follow my letterbox if you really want to. I mean, I always talk about putting sources in my description, but the only source I could really bring up here is the movie itself. I could probably also, I think I'm also going to include the sources for disorganized versus organized serial killers, so I'll put that in the description as well in case you're interested. It means a lot to me that my psychology-based videos do better. It means a lot to me that whenever I make videos that are based on psychology, they do better and people seem to like them, because that's what I really like. I like making videos like that, and I'm really glad that the videos that I like making the most are the ones that do the best. I will see you next time, which could be in a couple days or a couple weeks or a couple months, but probably not a couple years. I don't think I've mentioned this in every video, but I'm going to put resources for relief funds for Gaza in my description as well. So if you have if you are financially stable enough to donate to those, please do so. If you can, donate. If you can't, share and, you know, educate yourself on the whole matter. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.